FRISCO. I figured we'd made this perfectly clear on Jan. 11 when we broke the story in reporting that Dallas Cowboys defensive tackle David Irving has missed multiple mandatory drug tests in the last 2 months of the regular season. But maybe I phrased it too politely by adding, putting in jeopardy not only any chance he has of participating with this team during the NFL playoffs but also his chance of playing in the league anytime soon. So on Feb. 19, in the wake of a Monday chock-full of news outlets re-breaking the story of Dallas being done with David, I wrote it louder. David Irving has a substance abuse issue and that, combined with an absence of love for his job, caused him to fail to show up for work for the better part of months, thus rendering him unemployable. There. Better. Now along comes ESPN's Adam Schefter, working his way through his scoops on Condoleezza Rice coaching the Cleveland Browns, and his personal viewing of the Des Bryant Walmart unicorn video, and the bigger-than-Bob Kraft sex scandal, and his breaking news on the theater release of Wreck-It Ralph to find out something about Irving that he either thinks or is pretending to think is new. Dallas defensive tackle David Irving is under evaluation from the NFL for a potential suspension, league sources told ESPN on Tuesday. Irving was suspended for the start of the past 2 seasons for a violation of the NFL's drug policy. Adam Schefter, @Adam Schefter, February 26, 2019. But there is no new evaluation, it's the same evaluation that was triggered when he failed the additional drug tests. In being lost on the Irving story, Schefter is in good company, because my man David is himself lost too. I'm in the NFL because I'm great at what I do, Irving wrote this week on Instagram. I'm not in the NFL because I'm an Eagle Scout, or the perfect model citizen. I didn't put on a mask or kiss ass to be where I am. I'm here on natural ability. This is God's plan, not mine. Trust me, I'm adjusting to it as well. Once I step on the field and stop performing, then we have a problem. So does anyone have anything to say about my play? Well, yes. While Cowboys ownership wanted to continue to look at Irving late last season after he injured an ankle but failed to bother to rehab it, coaches had plenty to say about David's play. In short, and to paraphrase, David doesn't play. Irving's off-field life continues to be plagued by legal turmoil largely related to conflict with his ex-girlfriend, with whom he shares a young daughter. And his on-field efforts were marred in part by a high ankle sprain he sustained in practice on November 2. But since incurring that injury, Irving rarely showed up for work here inside the Star, not only missing participation in practices but also declining to attend practice as an observer, declining to attend meetings or watch film, and declining to accept rehab help with the ankle and encouragement to stay active in the weight room. He's just sort of checked out, one person close to the situation told me then. Irving is in the NFL's substance abuse program. Sources tell me that during Cowboys training camp last summer he skipped at least one mandatory test, failure to comply, the NFL calls it, and once the 2018 season began, he was hit with a 4-game suspension. That marked the second consecutive season Irving was on the suspended list to start the year. Earlier this year, Irving indicated that he was finding peace in all of this, saying, "I've been through a lot, but I've seen the light at the end of the tunnel. The reality here, an FTC, failure to comply, counts the same as a failed test for all NFL players, including Irving, who has at times been vocal about his objection to the drug policy as it relates to marijuana use." As talented as he is, Irving has played in only 10 games over the last 2 seasons but registered 8 sacks during that stretch. There were also issues of conditioning that likely blocked a return late last season. Additionally, failing to properly rehab the ankle was an obstacle. But most of all there is this: if the Cowboys attempted to activate him, that might have activated the NFL into taking action against him. To me, it seemed like a see no evil situation. The league may not have wished to call attention to this unfortunate story, but Irving trying to play may have forced their hand in a negative way. I'm betting the situation going forward is a similar one. The NFL isn't investigating this today any more than it was investigating it in January, when I first wrote the story about it. Their investigation found that he missed failed tests. And while if he walks away from football now there will never be any repercussions if an NFL team signs him, they will be signing a player likely facing even more severe suspension-related consequences. Again, David himself seems to be playing dumb as it regards all of this, pretending to be confused while wondering if he's been cut. Does everyone assume it's over? Lol. Did I get cut? I'm confused, writes David Irving on IG, even though I don't believe X. At least I hope not. pic.twitter.com/12p486igels, Mike Fisher, @FishSports, February 19, 2019. No, David, you haven't been cut, but you were always unlikely to be allowed to jump over 2 months full of drug test failures. And now your contract is about to expire. But amazingly, sources tell me there are actually teams looking into Irving's situation, and I say, amazing, because all they have to do is use Google to find their answers. Which is the same tool David Irving and Adam Schefter could use to find out more about this new investigation that actually is neither new nor an investigation.